Hey guys, back for a new video. Thanks for all the people who have subscribed to the channel with the lack of videos in the past 3 months, but I'm coming back now. I've been very busy. So many of you asked how I go about painting ogres. So I've had quite a few questions through, so I thought I'd make a video tutorial on how to do this. What we've got here is a standard ogre from the battalion box set, but he's one of the ogre balls, and basically he's the musician in the sense that he's trying to call out "Roar!" There we go. Right, I've never really done a painting tutorial, so this is going to be a work of whatever. Right, so basically what you want to start with is a large brush. What I've got here is the Citadel large brush, but as you can probably see from here, it's alright. I don't think I've looked after this one pretty well. What I'm going to use for this tutorial is I'm going to use one of the heavy metal brushes from the box set. Now, I've been using these brushes quite a bit recently, and I found that these are fantastic. If you haven't already seen the video, I'll be putting that up, but keep an eye out for that. So I'll be working with this. You can have a look what's going on, and well, I just think it's generally a very, very good quality brush. So it's a lot larger, the hair follicles, but you can use any other sort of brush. It's just I prefer using this one at the moment. There we go. Okay, what we're going to start with is the skin, seeing as it's the largest part of the ogre. And what we're going to use is foundation, which is tarred flesh. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to cover the entire skin area of the model, all around there. His face, hands in talon flesh. So we're going to give it a good shake. There we go. As you can see, they haven't put caps on these, so here's a nice tip. You get the lid off your brush and stick it there. There you go. Tip of the day too. Let's see if we can zoom out. I have to apologize, it's my first live painting tutorial, so we'll see what happens. There we go, we've got our brush. You'll probably figure out from now that I'm left-handed, so it may be easier for the camera to see, maybe not. I'll probably take it in the comments to see what happens, but here we go. Right, so basically what I'm doing now is I'm putting paint all over the model. I'm putting it on quite thick, and I probably left the window open behind me, so if you can hear wind, I'm sorry. It just sort of adds to the atmosphere. And the great thing about Citadel foundation paints is you can see that already that you possibly won't need another coat because it covers the entire model really, really well. I have been working on other projects. Hopefully we can show some of them. Some of my dwarfs been working on. Bit of Space Wolves, bit of Lord of the Rings. That kind of goes on. But I thought I'd get back to the ogres, seeing as a lot of you subscribed because of the Orge Kingdoms Stone Horn video. Things like that. So we're trying to cover the entire model here. It's possibly also important to mention that before I did spray the model Chaos Black, I already did the base, so that was PVA glue, a bit of Citadel sand from Games Workshop, and a bit of slate, as you can see on there. And then once it's sort of dried, you can then spray the entire model black, and there you go. You don't have to paint the base then, you just put your colors on it. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to apply this as best I can have no idea how long this tutorial is going to take, but I'm going to paint this from start to finish. Hopefully you can apply this to the rest of your ogres. Don't worry about getting it in other places. You can see the tail flesh has gone on there really quite well. Don't want too much on your brush though. Look after your brushes. Saves you a lot of money, but yeah. This might take a bit of a while. I'm gonna stop the video and I will start it once I finish this step. See you in a minute. There we go, all done. Model is completely covered where possible. There we go. That's nice. Whoa! Right, okay, next step is to apply a wash. So what we're going to use, we're not going to use Devlin Mud. I was in two minds about this because this is kind of a dark browny colour. I'm going to go with Ochre and Flesh, I think. We'll see how it turns out. I've only got one shot, so here we go. See what mine says. Seems pretty simple that you should use Ochre and Flesh. Oh, this one's got a little... Some of them have tabs on them and they hold them back. I don't know. Something about Games Workshop saving money. Seem to have a lot of money anyway. So. Right, okay, right. So, some of my viewers are new to the hobby, so I'll try and explain as best I can about washing. We're going to use the same brush again. Washed it, cleaned this brush, so it's nice and clean-ish. So what we're going to do, I'm going to do quite a heavy wash, so that means putting quite a lot of, see, it stays on the brush quite well, but you can tell it's on there. See if, so if I just go what's that? Don't know. Oh, there we go. Right, okay. So if we get quite a bit on there, it's all about experience on how much you put on your brush. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cover pretty much just like stroke it over the top. So you can see that the majority of them is being deposited in the lowest parts of the skin where it meets the clothes. But we want to try and brush it all the way across. Getting quite good coverage, you see. So here on the arms. That's the thing about washes. Ever since they came out and replaced inks, I have loved them. At first I didn't like them, to be honest. I thought inks were amazing. But then I tried this, and it's just so much of a time saver. I mean, if I had to do this with another method, it would be like starting to layer. So I had to get to the deep parts of the ogre's body, I'd have to layer it with a darker colour and work it out like you do normally. But with the wash, you can put the lightest colour on top, and then the wash seeps into the lowest recesses of the model, and there you go, it becomes a lot more darker. You can see that's already, I don't know if I've got this in focus half the time, so you can see some of those muscles starting to protrude. Seeing if you cover it over the arms, even though you painted over the arms, it seeps into the gaps. Now, I didn't intentionally mean this, but this ogre, he's wearing sort of like an iron, some sort of iron thing on his head, right there. Oh well, it won't matter. He's got a plate in his head. Plate in his head. That's what we're doing here. We're just trying to apply the wash into the deepest parts on there. There we go. It's a bit weird. Watch me wash an ogre. So it's gone on quite heavily, but you can see that when it goes into all the cracks, recesses, even on the back there. So you're just lightly drawing the brush across the top, trying not to leave big clumps, so you just wipe it aside there. So the raised parts you want to keep kind of still light, so what you need to do is just, you can see I'm just wiping some of it off. I'll just spread so the tops of these muscles here, and here, and here, and here. See the way it's seeped around these sort of, all these different bits of his muscle, providing sort of a darker tone there. There's a bit too much on by there, so I'm just going to spread it on, because it kind of pulls, so you don't need to keep bringing it from the brush, from the paint pot all the time, so you can just quickly draw on some of the recesses. So in his ears there, that's alright, I want to keep that in there. Missed his hand on here. You can see it's probably best to do this before you paint the sword or anything like that. Always cover the largest areas first. You see I've got onto a bit of his like straps and things like that on the waist. I'll try and keep that nice and dark down there. Looking good already. See the top of his hands. Right. I mean, you can pick out details, even his fingernails now. That's just areas you need to don't forget, like the inside of his hands. It's great because the wash won't stay on the higher areas much, so you can easily get it down to the dark areas. Oh, right. Thing about washes is they take a while to dry. So, as you can see, he's pretty shiny at the moment. Reflecting off all my lights here. I'm just going to clean it up just a bit on this bit. It's up to you where you do it, but there you go, it comes from experience. And at the end of the day, it's what you feel happy with. If you think it looks good, it looks good. There we go. There we go. I'm going to let that dry. I don't know how long that's going to take, but I will see you in the next part.